Hey, welcome to another episode of Theological Pipe. My name's Chris. Thanks for being here. As always, we're going to get right into it today, just covering different things, some culture, some news, some sports, politics, and again, from the perspective of there is a God, theological perspective. In Nigeria, saw this on, I think, a Facebook feed and then went and read the articles about it. But in Nigeria, 1,200 Christians have been murdered this year so far in 2020. 1,200 and I think 1,202, 1,207 was the number. But they're being murdered by Boko Haram. I think that's how you say it. You probably remember that name. They're a terrorist, Islamic extremist terrorist group in Africa. And if you probably remember them from the Bring Back the Girls hashtag, if you remember back a few years when President Obama was in office, and they had the hashtag Bring Back Our Girls, and there's a really good comedy skit. This isn't funny, but there was a really good comedy skit by Bill Burr about Bring Back the Girls, and you can go look it on YouTube. Just look Bill Burr. Bring Back the Girls, Boko Haram, and he just did it. It was really pretty funny the way he did it because of the hashtag diplomacy that they were doing. But that group is going around in Africa murdering Christians because they're Christians, because of their beliefs. And there's watch groups and stuff that are saying that it's equivalent to Christian genocide in that country, and they're just systematically going through and killing people. So I thought that was pretty disheartening and probably something you don't hear a whole lot about. You probably don't hear a lot about Christian persecution, but over the past few years, and different researches and different groups have done studies and shown that the most persecuted group in the world, most people would say it was Muslims, or it was black people, or it was based on some sort of sexual identity or something. It's Christians by a pretty big margin in the most countries and the most incidences, and Jewish people are right behind them. So you don't hear a lot about that for some reason. And if you go do a search for Nigeria Christian genocide, using Google or Bing or Yahoo, whatever search engine you want, or go to Twitter and just type in those, that thing, you're not going to see a lot of NBC or ABC or MSNBC or CNN or New York Times. You're not going to see a lot of coverage on that, if any. It's going to be some obscure article or someone pushing that out. So 1,200 Christians murdered this year in Nigeria. And then I mentioned this yesterday. I misspelled it on the podcast, and I believe it's pronounced the Uyghurs or Uyghurs. It's Uyghurs, and they are a Chinese Muslim population that are being sent into concentration camps. There are actually videos of the Chinese government lining these people up at a train station to get them on a train to take them to a concentration camp. And there's a couple of those videos. They shave their heads, they line them up, and they're taking them away. And from reading, they're telling those groups, you have to denounce your culture, you have to denounce your religion, and you have to pledge allegiance to the government and to President Xi. President Z, however you pronounce it. There's 2 million of these people, of this group in concentration camps, 2 million of them. And who knows, what if they don't denounce their religion? What if they don't pledge allegiance to the president? There's a decent chance that they're probably dead. So how many have died? How many have, they're doing this right now. And again, not a lot of coverage if you look at the mainstream media. If you go to Twitter and put in the Uyghurs, the Uyghurs, and then put NBC News, ABC News, CBS News, you're not going to see any coverage of it. They may have made scant mention of it weeks ago. But this is going on right now, and this is horrible that they're putting, I don't care what religion they are, they're taking a group of people and saying, you better listen to us, you better believe like us, and if not, we're going to ship you off into concentration camps to do who knows what. And that's nuts. And it's concerning because this is happening right now, and it's also concerning because also in the past few days there was a story broke that there are Christians in China, in remote, small, poor villages. There are Christians now in China that the government is going around and telling them that they have to denounce Jesus. They have to take down any Christian symbolism. So if they have a cross hanging up, they have to take it down. If they have pictures of, if they're Catholics and they have Virgin Mary, whatever, if they have any symbolism of Christianity, they have to take it down. They have to pledge allegiance again to the government and to President Xi, and they have to put up pictures of him. And they're saying, if you don't do it, we're going to take away your welfare. Because again, they're going right now to just the poorest parts. And they're saying, if you don't denounce Christianity, you're not getting any money. And again, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what the next step is. They're going to be on trains soon. Unless people start stepping up and speaking out. And that's a disappointing part on a lot of this. And again, Twitter is a cesspool and social media is a cesspool a lot of times. But you see a lot of people who are asking people who have the ability to speak up, not doing it. And the reason that a lot of corporations, the reason that a lot of sports leagues don't do this, and you could look at the NBA and China, and you can go do some research on that. They've had some issues with not speaking up against Chinese atrocities, and they also a few months ago actually got on and punished one of the owners for supporting freedom for Hong Kong, and so you can look at a lot of people calling the NBA out saying, listen, you guys have a platform, you can step up and say, hey, concentration camps aren't a good thing. You can step up and say, hey, stop oppressing the people in Hong Kong. You can step up now and say, hey, you shouldn't be making people denounce their Christianity, otherwise they don't get their welfare that they earn or that the government gives them. And again, these things are going on. These are horrible atrocities. These are, you're looking at people dying because of their religious beliefs in Nigeria. They're Christians and they're being massacred. You have a group of Muslims in China that are being sent to concentration camps, and there's video of it. This is not some wide-eyed conspiracy that people are putting. You can see video of them, shaved heads, being put on trains to go to concentration camps. And then you can see the stories of the Christians in China now being told to denounce Christianity, take down your crosses, and put up pictures of the president. Where's the outrage? I know that we have issues in this country, but it pales in comparison, in my opinion, not my opinion, in anyone's opinion, to people being put on trains to go to concentration camps, to be murdered, to having people saying, you better denounce your religion or we're going to put you in a concentration camp, we're going to stop giving you money, we're going to make you, starve to death. What a horrible thing. People being killed in Nigeria, and nobody's outraged at this. But we're going to be outraged at a statue or a word that we don't like. I live in Oklahoma. There's even a petition now to change the name of a restaurant that's been in Stillwater for decades, Eskimo Joe's, because Eskimo Joe's is offensive. Apparently, it's not. But that's what we're focusing on here, while people in other countries are being shipped to concentration camps where they're being told to denounce their religion and pledge allegiance to the president Xi, the communist dictatorship. And that's horrible. And I think maybe some attention needs to be put on that. And I don't know if this is a put that in your theological pipe moment or thing like that. You don't have to really think about it, but I think you need to know about it. And I bet there's people that don't know that this is going on or ignore that it's going on. And that's a shame. I think, we need to, if we're going to be for people, if we're going to say that lives matter, put whatever adjective you want to put in front of there. The Uyghurs, sorry, choke on that. The Uyghurs' lives, they matter, right? The Christians in China, their lives matter. The Nigerian Christians, their lives matter. They're being killed and murdered and put into concentration camps. And if we're going to say that black lives matter, and they do, so do these lives. So do people that are being persecuted and again, possibly killed all across the world. And so I don't want to bring things down, but man, we've got to really be cognizant of what's going on and really educate ourselves and do some research, and don't let the media just tell you what they want to tell you. You go out and do research on your own. I'm one of those nerds that when a report comes out that says something, I don't just read the headline. I'll go read the report that came out to make sure that what they're saying is true. And sadly, these days, most of the time, it's not. So Nigeria, Chinese Christians, and Chinese Uyghurs. I know I'm mispronouncing it, man. I apologize. But if you're someone who prays, if you're someone who believes in a higher power and believes in the power of prayer, you might want to start praying for those people, and start praying for our leaders to step up and start doing something for these people. And you should be doing that anyway as a believer. Maybe that's the theological pipe moment. We need to pray. The Bible says that we're supposed to pray for our leaders, and whoever's in power. And that doesn't make a difference if it's a Republican or a Democrat or someone in another country that we don't like or we do like. We need to pray for them, and pray that they have wisdom and strength, and that they are directed by God and know what to do. And prayer works, and it's something that we need to pay attention to and utilize as believers. Christian, Muslim, Jewish, I don't care. We need to pray. And again, as Christian men, pray, and the Bible says you pray for those that are in charge, and we need to do that. So, pray for your president, pray for your governor, pray for your mayor, pray for all the people in charge that are dealing with a lot of things, and they can use it. And prayer works. So I'll say that could be that. Put that in your theological pipe and smoke it. Prayer works, and you need to use it. So let's move to, I don't want to say it's a little happier, a little more lighthearted. It's going to be quite a transition to go from persecution and concentration camps to what is the best movie opening sequence ever. I saw a tweet. I think it was Super 70s Sports. They have a pretty good Twitter account, and they said, best movie opening ever, go. And people started listing. So I started thinking about it, and I was like, okay, I came up with a list. This is my list. It's not an exhaustive list, and I didn't think about it very long. And this is not in any order. I think I'll probably pick my top one when I'm done. I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them. I'm going to give my top 6 of the best movie opening sequences ever. So the best opening of a movie that you ever saw. What would you be your favorite? And the first one I thought of was Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is an incredible movie, great movie, one of the best actors, Harrison Ford. But man, the whole scene of him going and getting that little statue and the boulder coming after him, and then being chased off and getting on this plane with the snake, that was just pure magic when I saw it the first time. And I think that movie is probably the one that I went and saw in the theaters the most, and that was back in the day where you had to go to the theater. You didn't, come rent it and watch it on video or DVD or streaming it. But I must have gone at least 10 times to see Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's how great I thought that movie was. And that opening scene was incredible. So Raiders of the Lost Ark is definitely one of them. Star Wars, the original, Star Wars 4, A New Hope. But it'll always be Star Wars to me. Again, an iconic scene, the shadow of the spaceship and Princess Leia's of the Star Destroyer and Princess Leia's ship going away and Darth Vader coming on. That was, again, a phenomenal scene, and will always be etched in my memory. I can remember seeing that in New York, Long Island, Smithtown. I don't think it was opening day, but the theater was packed. And I remember it because there was a young man. I'll say young man. Again, I was probably like 7 at the time, but there was an older guy in front of me, and he had some. It was a guy with developmental disabilities, and he was rocking in his seat. And he was so into the movie that everything that happened he would comment on, and everything everything exciting he would ooh and ah and make noise. And it was one of those things that even as a kid I remember seeing a lot of people being upset about it. But by the time the movie was over, everyone was so into the movie that they were kind of living through that guy. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to yell at, and I want to scream, and I want to cheer. And I'll remember when Luke was. This is not the opening scene, and I'm getting way off topic. But I remember Luke going down the trench in his X-Wing to destroy the Death Star. And as he was, the guy was just rocking back and forth in his seat, and he just kept repeating over and over, "Keep on trucking, Luke. Keep on trucking, Luke." And then when he did it, when he destroyed the Death Star, the dude raised his hands up in the air and started cheering. Everyone in the audience started cheering. It was great. So Star Wars, just an iconic movie. Again, great, one of the best opening scenes ever. One that I didn't think of, and then I was scrolling through my movies on iTunes, and I was like, that is a great opening. The movie Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone, where he has to go up on the mountain and he's rescuing a buddy with his girlfriend, and they're on a rope, going across a cavern or between two mountains, and he actually drops her and kills her. Well, he didn't kill her, but he dropped her, and that was a great scene, man. That was one of those scenes that was just like, what is going on here? And the photography was great, and the mountain climbing was great. So Cliffhanger's another one of them. I put Rounders down. Rounders is it is the best poker movie ever. And I play poker. Me and my family play poker. We play poker all the time. It's a great opening scene. And I've never lost my life savings in a poker match, but I've lost hands in poker where I didn't think I was going to lose. And just the way it's shot, the words that they use, the conversations that they have, the feel of it is just incredible. And it's just a great opening to a movie. So Rounders is one. Saturday Night Fever, not because there's any action, not because there's anything cool going on. It's John Travolta walking through the streets of New York, going to get paint and staying, and the Bee Gees are singing, right? But man, what a scene! Just his feet walking is iconic, and it's a great opening scene to a movie, and it sets the tone for the movie, and so it's a great opening scene. And then probably one that I think most people would say number one if they thought about it, and I think it might be number one. I'm trying to debate whether I'm going to put something different for my all-time number one opening scene to a movie, but Saving Private Ryan. It was brutal. It was honest. It was real. And I can remember watching it, and I think it goes on for 20 minutes. And I can remember watching it in the theater and just the silence that people had from that, just because of the brutality of it and the realness of it, and the way it made you feel like you were there. And that was just amazing. So probably on everything from cinematography to the camera shaking when it needs to shake, to the way you could almost smell and feel the sand on your face and smell the beach and feel the splatters and stuff like that. That probably for most people would be the number one scene in a movie. And I really can't disagree with that. So I'd probably say if I had to pick one, I want to pick Raiders of the Lost Ark just because of what that movie meant to me and the fact that I saw it so many times. But best movie opening sequence of all time, Saving Private Ryan. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with any others. There's others. There's like Godfather, and there's Jaws, and there's even Rocky 3 is an incredible opening scene. But that's just something fun to do and something fun to think about. So, maybe if you comment, you can comment. If you're thinking about it, just think to yourself, what's the best opening movie sequence you ever saw? What's your favorite? So that's it. Again, two totally different topics to talk about. Best movie opening sequence, Saving Private Ryan. And then, like I said before, man, if you pray or if you believe in the power of prayer, which again, the majority of people in the world believe in a higher power, and most of those people believe in prayer and believe in that kind of stuff. So if you pray, man, be praying for people that are persecuted. Pray for the people in the United States. If you're listening in the United States, pray for them. Pray for oppressed people. Pray for poor people. Pray for the people that are down and out. Pray for the people that are struggling with things, with addictions and problems and issues, and really pray for everybody. Every one of us right now, because of the coronavirus, we're suffering from depression, from loneliness, from anxiety, from fear. So pray for each other. Pray for this country. We do have issues, but I also think that there are way bigger issues when it comes to people being sent to concentration camps and people being assassinated and murdered because of their religion. And it's happening now, not just in Nigeria. In the Middle East, there's a bunch of countries where Christian genocide is happening, and you could look that up. And again, the Christians in China and the again, I'm going to mispronounce it, the Uyghurs in China that are being being put in concentration camps, 2 million of them. Pray. Prayer works, and if you believe that, pray. So I'll leave you with that. There's your theological pipe moment. Put that in your theological pipe and smoke it. Prayer works, and we need to pray for each other and for people around the world. And again, just be nice. Have fun every once in a while. Talk about opening movie sequences. Talk about your favorite songs. Maybe we'll do that sometime. But be nice to people, because when you're nice to people, man, good things can happen. And we need to do that. We need more of that in this country. So, be nice. Put that in your theological pipe and smoke it. And thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.